happening? Hello? I'm late for a very important date. I'm not going to say here's what happened. Y'all know what happened. Technical difficulties happened. I'm here. I'm happy. Well, mostly happy. What is happening? How is everyone? It's just going to be a chill stream, you know, with Tia Wood. Hello. Hello, hello. Mila, first chatter of the night. It wasn't going to go live, and then I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. Not that I didn't want to see y'all. Sometimes it's just, you feel kind of slimy. You feel kind of slimy. I'm trying to, I moved my, my deal, and now it is not right. Oh my God. I hope DC is on tonight. Oh, y'all are sweet. It's fun being at the top of the leaderboard to let everyone get here. I love that so much. Let's see. Let me refresh this. And I'm going to edit this. I am going to turn on subscribers only. Subscribers does not mean you have to buy a membership. It just means, I don't know, we're going to control the sass. We like controlled sass, not uncontrolled sass. And then save. I'm scared to even touch anything right now. No. What the hell? Nothing is working. Well, hopefully we'll stay live. I have no idea what's going on. Oh, God. I should have just done my intro, then done my disclaimer, but I don't want to, so we're going to do the disclaimer in a minute. I'm DC. I'm an autistic MLM dropout, and I've been making anti-MLM content since I got out of Young Living in April of 2022. And technical difficulties happen, PowerPoint roasts happen, squirrel trails happen. I don't know. Good things happen, I guess. I like live streaming better than video recording, and we're also cursey word friendly on the live stream. So if that is not for you, or if that is not for whoever's running around your house, put some headphones on if you're free range listening. We like controlled sass. Who's number one? Mix? What's up? Coconuts, Deborah, beep beeps. Hello. I was going to go live at 9:45, and then I got distracted by trying to fix Barb's. I'm not even going to call her Barbara because our favorite Great Dane that, what is her name? Colleen has. His name's Barbara. Well, I know Barb is Barbara, but Barb Pitcock is completely different than Barbara the Great Dane, okay? I was still raging from that Zoom last night. I didn't sleep all night long. I know. Emotional regulation, emotional agility. My brain was like, no, we're mad at everyone who live streams while driving, and mostly Barb. Oh, geez. I'm glad you're here. I hope you had a good Saturday. If you did not have a good Saturday, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm glad you're here. I'm trying to read as I'm trying to talk, and I can't even talk and walk at the same time, so I'm pretty happy that I can live stream. I'm going to close these out. We're not talking about frequents tonight. We're talking about an oldie but a goodie, Optavia. And Tia, I guess, took pity on one of her team members and decided to do a dual live with her. Tia does not go live regularly. She is at the top of this triangular organizational structure of payment in Optavia. She and Doug are at the top of her team. And then everybody else is in this area below. Yes, I know it looks like a triangle. Yes, you may be saying, oh my God, is that a pyramid scheme? Whatever you want to believe. Sending everyone a non-driving virtual hug. I'm totes fine not being on the leaderboard because it's been a long day and I don't feel like being social. No, it's fine. Yeah, I don't know what the leaderboard is. It's just, it is a surprise. It's fun. Lurkers, welcome. Listening to anti-MLM content or listening to content while you're playing a game or crafting, delightful. Never feel like you have to comment. I love that you're here, and I don't know. I keep saying I don't know. I literally didn't prepare anything for the stream other than I blurred out Tia's team member because it doesn't look like she's a true public figure, and then I took out all the pauses and the filler words, and we went from like 20 minutes to 17 minutes, which I'm delighted about. I am very delighted. Quit. Drop a 1 if you know what Optavia is. Drop a 2 if you don't. Let me just say this real quick. I did MetaFast in 2010. MetaFast is associated with, I think Jason Pharmaceuticals owns Optavia and MetaFast. Maybe MetaFast just went out of business. Yes. Subsidiaries, Optavia, Jason Pharmaceuticals. It is a weight loss company. So if weight loss is not on the like I say, the meal plan is not on the content ingestion plan for today, hop out. I'd love for you to give me a pity like and then go do something good for your mental health. Kevin Tinter of Optavia is the reason that we do kazoos on this channel. Kevin Tinter is underneath Doug and Tia Wood on their team. Kevin and Becca Tinter are pretty close with Doug and Tia Wood. It is a very twisty intermixing of religious high control sentiments with Doug and Tia and greed. High control in their organization. Yes, huge trigger warning. Trigger warning. Optavia is MLM that promotes disordered eating and weight shaming. Hop out if you need to. Thank you for Demi. The message is pinned. We're good to go. Jason Pharmaceuticals, Optavia, MetaFast, the same thing. MetaFast does the 5-in-1, meaning 5 snacks that you buy from MetaFast, and then 1 lean and green. Optavia does a similar thing. Optavia is a multi-level marketing company. So let's say in 2010 I hadn't done MetaFast. And by the way, MetaFast destroyed, in my opinion, it wrecked my body. Okay? And it really reinforced some of my own eating disorders that I struggle with. Setting that aside. In Optavia, they also have the 5-in-1. And you do things like you get all your meals either in a packet or in a snack. They used to have these cardboard tasting Parmesan puffs that you would do like 100 calories. So each snack was 100 calories, and then your lean and green was basically a salad and lean meat, whatever. So you were eating way under 1,000 calories a day. And that is very similar in Optavia. So when I have big feelings about Optavia because of what I went through in 2010 and the things that you kind of end up running into that are associated loosely with MLM and then show up in MLMs is very strange when it happens. So oh no one wants to work Sunday, but I have to today. I'm sorry. Did someone say funnel cakes? Oh God, not a good funnel cake. A bad funnel cake. Yeah. The one thing that was really, it felt very like despair. So in MetaFast, you go in and you meet with your coach. They had I thought it was like a legit thing. I'm guessing it is, but it wrecked me. You sign up for the paying the coaches, nutritional coaches, and then you buy the monthly food and you go in weekly to meet with your coach. They all wore scrubs at each location, and I guess to me that I thought that they were registered dietitians that we were meeting with, but I didn't ask enough questions. I asked the person who was meeting with me weekly, hey, when am I going to stop thinking about food all the time? Which is different than I don't get hungry, but I would live from meal to meal. I would also deal with stress by eating. So just for clarity, I have struggled with binge eating in the past, and I guess I manage it with therapy and stuff like that now. I asked her, hey, when in this process of doing this program am I going to stop thinking about food all the time? And she told me, you're never going to stop thinking about food. And I said to myself, I don't like that answer at all. I don't like that answer at all. I want to have and working with Kat Benson was really helpful. If you're looking for a registered dietitian and someone who also has experience working with neurodivergent people, Kat Benson is incredible. But I didn't want to live the rest of my life like with food thoughts always being in front and having to push them back to think about other things. That is embarrassing a little bit for me to say that out loud, but I try to be honest with y'all. I'm a little bit, again, embarrassed. Not that it's embarrassing to struggle with an eating disorder. I feel vulnerable sharing that. I hope that it offers some multifacetedness to my commentary on Optavia just because of my own experience with MetaFast and MetaFast and Optavia being associated with Jason Pharmaceuticals and Optavia having a very, very, very similar program to MetaFast. So let me play the disclaimer. Let's live our best lives.
I just can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us. history, but we don't have to repeat it. Now I'm gonna burn all the bridges between us.
All right. I want to reiterate that it is not embarrassing or shameful to fight with an eating disorder. I am just trying to be honest about the things that I'm struggling with. And yes, I'm in therapy. Just as a reminder to everybody who hates me, I'm not trying to be a therapist, but I am in therapy. And I'm excited to share the things that are helpful for me, for you to find your own therapist and potentially get some help and some wins. As a little bit of a side note, an addendum to what I said earlier, if you have kids who are in high-level sports or even even playing sports in public school or playing sports, I would be very, very involved in having open conversations with your kids about what their coach is telling them about their body and about what they can eat, and if they are getting shamed for eating at all, because that kind of built up or created a perfect storm for something I'd already struggled with, and then kind of blew up after I got, like, I couldn't play anymore because of an injury, and then Medifast happened. So I'm a proponent of parents you're the best advocate for your kids. And a coach telling you can't be there at the practice or whatever, they can shove it where the sun doesn't shine. Oh, good. I'm so glad, Rachel. Oh, Deborah. My daughter's a cheerleader. Okay, let me put the video in. Where did I put it? Oh, sorry, found it. I had my Finder window too small. Oh, thanks, Heather. The thing that I remember is that my therapist had reminded me, and Kat reminded me, food is good for your mental health and your physical health. And it is not surprising when you do therapy or you go through something mentally difficult at work or you have a lot of mental stress that you may experience like cravings for carbs because of the energy source that your brain runs on. So I would consider talking to a registered dietitian, talking to a therapist about someone who has experienced. If you're neurodivergent, I know I'm not trying to be like, oh, neurodivergent. If your registered dietitian or if your therapist has no experience with neurodivergent clients, they may know what autism and ADHD and that everything that falls under the neurodivergent umbrella. It's different when you can find somebody who actually that is one of their not specialties, but something they actually work daily in. Y'all are the best. I'm glad you're here. Before we start with Tia, she spells her name Thea. She pronounces it Tia. The only reason I say that is because I was always wondering, how do you pronounce it? And then she says, she's Tia. This may be slimy, so let's do something positive. What's a high? What's a low? My low was both. I had my final work on my teeth before my surgery. I thought June 3rd was going to be a Monday, but it's a Tuesday, so I'm getting surgery on Tuesday. So the high was finishing my dental work, and the low was getting dental work this morning. Another high is that my dentist is very again, has experience with, my new dentist has experience with autism and is very kind and he'll count down for the work that he's doing in seconds, and then he'll take a break, and then he'll count down for me and then take a break, and then it's helpful for me. So that was my high, that was my low. Why do we do that? You can pick out a high and a low for the most part, even if you're depressed, even if you're anxious, even if your mental health is in the toilet. And it also, this is what was something like really encouraging and helpful when I was in PHP, the partial hospitalization program, after I got out of the psychiatric facility. It was just, it's really helpful. And I think it's helpful for us to look at both. That's sweet, Raquel. All right, let's go and put her on screen. She will move up. She's just started her phone like that. And I can't judge her for it because when I first started streaming, I was like this. Hello? I was very low. High, got some yard work done. Low, it kicked my allergies into action. I'm glad you got the yard work done. Everyone, look on screen. Look at this floof. Did you make that blanket your floof is laying on? High, was able to relax and read a few chapters in my book today. Low, my oven died. Oh, Rachel, I'm so sorry. Demi said, hi, I found a copy of Dracula on video disc today. Ooh. The weird media collection grows. Also, a lot of dogs visited the store I work at. Cute. Low, I'm really tired of my leg joints all hurt. I hate when that happens. Okay, if you were on the stream last night, Savannah was like, hey, I don't know why I painted this one. This is in my brain. You see this it looks like a shield, but it also looks like a strawberry. So I think this was Savannah painted this as a justice for the acai bowl. And I'm going to keep thinking that. If you didn't know, Savannah sent me 3 rocks, and they're great. Hello, Lizzie Pooh. Beep beeps. Bunch of people I like released new songs today. Cool, cool, cool. Thanks for filling that in. Replay crew, feel free to let me know your highs and lows in the comment section. I'm trying. I moved my mic and now I can't. It's not where I want it. All right. Top of she is an overlord in her, I say overlord, she's at the very, very, very top. She and her husband, they're very, they have a lot to say about people who are, I'm going to air quote, bigger than them. Of a lot of shameful, mean, disgusting things. Doug will say on his Facebook feed, like his wall, Tia seems to agree with everything that he says. They've just opened up a very expensive gym, and they're still doing the Optavia MLM thing. And they also say that you pay the company that pays you, which is why they do their monthly order. They still do their monthly order, even though I don't think that they are eating Optavia food, in my opinion. They may also be deceptively injecting themselves with GLP-1. The only issue I have with that is if you say that the way that you look, it comes from your supplements, from your multi-level marketing company or any company, but you're really getting your results from something else, that is fuckery. Tony Zalecki, I'm looking at you. Sarah Zalecki, I'm looking at you. Why do you say that, DC? The Zaleckis of Nueva, formerly of Modere, were apparently trying peptides, Sarah said, 2 years before. And then Tony said 2 months before. While they were still in Modere, still saying the trim was doing all these magical things for him. Come to find out, oh no, we've been trying peptides. They didn't disclose that to anybody in their downline. It's unethical. That behavior, that deception is unethical. Okay? Okay.
Hello, friends. Hello, this amazing, almost last part of May. What an amazing Memorial Day that I believe many of us had, connecting with many friends. And I am going to see if I can have my friend join me here on a live video with me to see if she can join the view request. First time doing a live here on Instagram. I went live over on the main.
Tia, yeah, I did edit your video. AI didn't do it. Unfortunately, I had to, and it's shorter now, thank God.
Amazing land. This is your first official Instagram live.
It's always wonderful to be on with you, Tia. And so first times you have to do it at least one time, right?
Oh my God, the clicking's there. Please hold. What are you talking about, DC? Unfortunately, I am probably the... I forgot to take the clicks out. I will just do it really quickly. We'll export it and we'll be happy as a clam. Okay. Select all. Command D. Shift D. I'm just checking. Okay, it's blended now. Sorry. My bad. I'll just put it on the desktop. No. Don't be indecisive about something that doesn't matter. Okay. 60 seconds. Oh no. I didn't see Heather's. Trigger warning hospitals. My mom is in the ICU after suffering a brain bleed and had to have brain surgery. Hi, mom is doing a little better. Low, she's still in the ICU and I'm missing my dad. I'm so sorry, Heather. I'm happy that she's doing a little bit better. That is a huge mental load, and it's hard going through hard things without all of your people, you know? And I'm sorry that you're having to go through this. I'm sorry you're having to go through this without your dad. Okay, we're not... Well, I say that. We're probably going to cry tonight. Okay, Alexis. I did not have a wonderful Memorial Day, Tia. Yeah. Hey, Diane. Michelle. Hero. Megan. I finally got my hair cut after months of needing it. Lo, I did yard work for 2 hours. For like 2 hours. Oh, God. Ov. Let me link Ov's shop. Ov has been here from the beginning. Not that I'm saying that's why I share Ov's shop, but Ov is an incredible small business and has products that a lot of my audience enjoys. And Ov graciously offers us 10% off when you use the code when Ov's shop comes up in the chat. And thank you so much, Ov. And for FTC purposes, it's not an affiliate link. How hard is that? Influencers everywhere. Okay, we're good. Save, quit. And
Hello.
sorry.
Wonderful.
Okay, we're back.
To be on with you, Tia. And so first times you have to do it at least one time, right?
I love it. Okay, now show me your hat.
No. Why is there clicking? I apologize. I'm very activated today and I can't I obviously cannot focus with. I don't understand why that.
Hello, friend. It wasn't like you were looking outward, which I think is important for everyone to realize that.
We're having technical difficulties, as is apparently normal. I don't understand. The clicking may just click. If you can't hear it, it's those little lag and the bump, and then the sound comes in. Select all. Command D. All right, we'll start this now. Oh, God. I'm not going to get derailed either, because it's not the end of the world. I've been itching to get myself some version of a long dog tattoo from Bluey. I love Bluey. I love Bluey. Oh, nice, Sabrina. Congratulations. Ooh, itchy stitches are the worst. Well, that's awesome. I'm grateful for my husband and my siblings. I love that. I'm glad you have other additional people, you know? Nobody cares except for you. Nobody cares as much as you do. I don't know. It just helps. Yes. And my brain will get stuck on a loop, which I'm not a fan of, but just happens. Yes, good vibes and good thoughts for all of y'all healing from lots of different things. I love all my stitch markers, and I use them on almost every crochet project. I love that. All right, here we go. Save, quit. I have 2 screens up, which is why I look like I'm throwing my head side to side.
Hello.
Okay. Tia?
Lynn, this is your first.
They're gonna forget it. That's as good as I can do, honestly. I'm doing the best I can with the spoons and the skills that I have, which the sound skills are just, they're growing. They're just not, they're not where I'd like them. Okay.
Official Instagram live.
It's always wonderful to be on with you, Tia. And so first times are, you have to do it at least one time, right?
I love it. Okay, now show me your hat. You got to show all my friends. Come on, Queen Bee. You are the Queen Bee.
Fun little hat that some friends of mine made here for me. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Well, Miss, we've been doing health together how many summers now?
6. This is the 6th summer. Yeah.
Summer.
I don't even know. Maybe Tia does know who this person is because she decided to go live with her. Tia doesn't do this normally. You know how I know that? Because I record Tia, and I don't have a bunch of her live streams. Again, we're seeing this because it's end of month. If you wonder, oh, I'm seeing all these posts from my friends who are in MLM towards a lot right now, you look at it's the end of the month because they're trying to push to close the month with as much volume as they need to rank up or to keep their rank.
Usually we get to like hang out in the summertime. This will be our first like summer that we won't be meeting up in July.
Oh.
We're going to figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I think this is our first time of my Instagram connections meeting you. So me and I go back. We connected through Optavia, through getting healthy together. I lost over 40 pounds 15 plus years ago. And then through connections through Optavia, our lives kind of collided. And what I love, and then I want you to.
I also think, in my opinion, if you're in a weight loss company, people are going to say, wow, Tia, you lost 40 pounds this many years ago. Cool. I'm going to go look at Tia's Instagram page. Then I'm going to go look at Tia and I'm going to say, wow, you can lose 40 pounds and go from this, I guess, body type to that. And she's not, I think that if you're in that space, you also need to disclose that you've had a mommy makeover. No shade to that. I'm saying not disclosing it when you are literally using your body to sell a product, you get into murky waters very quickly, in my opinion. Doug, you too.
Share a little bit about your journey is when I first met, there was, I used to say it's time to become community starters. And I remember when you said, I'm not just a community starter, I'm a community builder. Like you took it next level. You really were, you didn't even realize at the time that you were helping me to truly create the beehive and create this, like this whole paradigm of becoming and taking our rightful place, our royal place as queens. And
taking our rightful place in our royal place as queens. I know the beehive is her group. I also think that this lady down here, because I've removed her name as much as possible, has done a lot of free work for Tia, which you also see in many MLMs, because you're trying to show how committed you are to the person at the top. Oh, do I have a visual for this? Sure do. This person at the top leaders, are underneath Tia and Doug. The top leaders are like Kevin and Becca Tinter and some others. Then the core devotees, then the rank and file members. So this lady down in the blurred out section probably falls in the rank and file members or the core devotees. These two groups within multi-level marketing, they're going to do a lot of work for free so that they can show their commitment and also so that they can get stacked into, strategically placed into. So whenever Tia recruits a bunch of people, she's going to stack them strategically so that she can give herself the best financial possibilities within that comp plan, in my opinion. Based off my experience in Young Living, based off my experience in Mary Kay, based off my listening to Zoom calls we've snuck into and listening to other creators and what they've heard on those Zoom calls, strategic placement happens everywhere. Oh, thanks. It's good to see you, and I hope you have a really good time playing your video games. It's like those extremely fake before and after pics where you can tell the person's had plastic surgery and the works and they still drink the shake. Yes, Beachbody, Emily Faver's team, and I'm guessing a lot, the top reps teams. Emily Faver, we know this for a fact, told her people to buy pant sizes 2 sizes too small at their starting weight, pull them up as much as they could, take the before picture, and then do the workouts for the whole month. And then at the end of the month, you wear the right size of pants and you put like bronzer contour on your body so it looks like you made more significant changes than you actually did. Yes, we used to sneak into Emily Faver's Google Meet calls, Zoom calls all the time. She was pissed. And then we ended up losing our abilities to do that. By we, I mean I, because she got so angry being exposed. And now she's exploiting her kids on TikTok for views. So we hate it. Strategic for her only. Yes. For sure, for her only.
And not just becoming starters, but building these amazing communities. So share a little bit about where you're from, who you are, a little bit of your health journey, and then I thought we'd give these mamas and grandmas some health tips this summer.
Yeah, well, the truth is, well, I'm from North Carolina, and I watched you that first few months that I was on my journey to health. I was very broken and really shut in and lonely and just felt like the world was caving in on me. And I watched you from afar, and I loved what you were doing. I loved that you were around people. I had pushed all my people away. And so I felt like at the time I didn't have anyone, I didn't have any connections, but there was something about Optavia, starting that journey, I just got hope. I found hope again. Yeah. And so something in me just said, Tia, you're such a trailblazer, and you're always just really pushing us to dream big and to just go for it. And when you say
Go for it how? In Optavia? Go for it in life and have big dreams that you have to pay those big dreams. You pay that with your Optavia, so you have to commit more to Optavia. And who benefits? Dug into your wood. What are the motivations behind Tia encouraging her? And let me say with this. I know what it's like to feel really lonely, and I know that's a big draw for people to get pulled into multi-level marketing. And even though when you get out, sometimes those friendships don't continue, the good feeling in the community and the not feeling like you're alone is real when you're experiencing that. I'm glad you can get to a point where I'm not saying that MLMs are good. I'm saying that I'm glad that this individual who's on the faded out section is hopefully not pushing people in her personal life away. I'm sad that she's an MLM. I'm sad that Doug and Tia Wood continue to take advantage of people, in my opinion, as do multi-level marketing leaders everywhere, in my opinion, but it's complex. It's not just easy saying, for me, being quirky, I guess, within the past 2 years, getting a autism diagnosis, I guess in the past year and a half, whatever, understanding like why I didn't really pick up on things and how that was a hurdle to jump through to try to connect with people, and then feel really isolated and alone, not feel how it's easy for them to say, like, just get out there, just make friends, just start talking to someone. Okay, and when I learned the scripts in Mary Kay, I can do a script. You tell me I need to go into a school, I need to talk to a principal, I need to present what I want to do in the school. I show them the outline of that I created. Then I get the yes or the no. Then I set up the event. Then I perform the event. And I know that at the event, I'm supposed to say this, this, and this around these stations and give people their gifts. That's different than saying, boy, it feels good and it feels comfortable for me to go and like reach out to people. Being able to follow rules is different than feeling like you fit into a group or feeling like you're never going to be able to connect with people. I have felt some of the things that she's saying, and I can hate MLMs, and I can hate that she's in an MLM, and I'm also glad that she's not isolating herself anymore. So, the main reason that drew me was for the community, because I was a stay-at-home mom. Yeah, I mean, the first MLM I was in was Mary Kay, and we were stationed in a state that I didn't know anybody, and it was me and my dog, and I had just gotten over mono, and I had mono for like 4 months, and I went from working since I was a little kid to right when I got married, and then moving to a new state and trying to figure out what I was going to do for job-wise. Got sick. My friend reached out to me, and I was like, oh, this is a great idea. I can do this. You're going to give me all the things to do to be successful. I can follow instructions. And I got community. I got to talk to people every day. I wasn't isolated and alone in an apartment with my dog. Caspian's the best. But how are you going to make friends? I don't know.
Said community starter. I'm like, I just want to build. I just want to have like so many people in my corner. I just want to be that person for so many people. Like like I saw you doing all those 6 years ago. And so I did start the program, and physically I wound up losing 47 pounds in just a short period of time. I was amazed by that because I didn't think anything like that was possible without looking sick or puny like
Coco,
I'd
I'm
seen other
sorry.
people do. But I felt 20 years younger. I think I looked at least 10 years younger. And it was the community though that really attracted me. It was, just knowing that there were other people who genuinely wanted you to win, who genuinely were cheering you on, and just really I had people in my corner. And that was so important to not just me as, as a client to lose weight, but as a mama and a future grandmama. I mean, it meant the world to me that there was a community there who really genuinely cared about
She seems so sweet. And I watched the video, a chunk of it. Sometimes you can tell, or I don't know if I can tell. When I was listening to her, and I'm naive, I get sucked into stuff. She seems so genuine and has fully bought into the value that this multi-level marketing company and that Tia has brought into her life. And Tia, in my opinion, is using this lady and this lady's genuineness and how authentic and kind she is to validate the Optavia opportunity. That's the story I'm making up about it. Another story could be Tia is just trying to help this lady out so that this lady can recruit people at the end of the month. I think Doug and Tia are more strategic than that second option, in my opinion. I feel anger when people are taking advantage of others for personal gain, which happens in all MLMs, but this is a very not microscopic, but it's a little close up of what happens in MLM. Top leader, maybe one of the side effects, maybe one of the, what is it called? One of the outcomes of doing this is that this lady on the bottom gets to recruit people, but Tia, at the end, she wins because it's adding volume to her team. And when you add in the body part to it, the eating part to it, you're not only getting stuck because of high control MLM, you're getting stuck because of a company that promotes, in my opinion, eating disorders. And then you have the religious control and twistiness that Doug and Tia bring, and all of those three confuse the hell and start to mix everything up. It intertwines with everything. For example, my parents are wonderful, ethical Christians. I grew up going to church. I grew up in the Baptist non-denominational. It's accepting Jesus into your heart and committing to walking out your faith that honors God. That's a very chill version. I don't know what I am now. When I was in Young Living, I think things started to erode in Mary Kay. then they started to erode even more in Young Living because my upline, I was also doing a lot of graphic design work for her. She was very religious, and her perspective was that Young Living was God's calling for her, or like is the place for her to do God's work and bring light to people. And I kept telling her, I do not think that MLM is I don't think that God gives a shit about MLM. I didn't say shit. I don't think God cares about MLMs, and I don't think that I would ever agree that the only way that you can be a light, I say be a light. I'm using two Christian-y words. Be a light, be kind, be servant-hearted towards, be, fruit of the Spirit towards others. That you can only do that in an MLM, or that God specifically is going to do that through an MLM. I was like, no. But I was in from 2019 to 2022. And so when I get out, it's like all the twistiness. It's like you have a cup of water that you've been able to drink out of, where you're clear thinking and nothing is twisty, and all of the twistiness that the cross-contamination or the crossed wires that my upline did with the religious, I wouldn't say extremism. The connection between her belief in God and her belief that running her business was honoring God, or was a vehicle to be a light to others because she was a Christian. That is like, okay, here's a tea bag, and that taints all the water, and you can't then separate the tea from the water. I mean, maybe sciencey people could, but it's very like, I don't know what I am anymore. Sorry for the using religion, using any kind of high control tactics to twist shit for people. Like, there's lasting impact on that. And it's 2025, and it's still painful to talk about. And that's after being in therapy for 2 years now. So, not that anybody in MLM is going to reconsider their position about bringing in religion to their MLM, or continuing to pray, or continuing to reinforce someone's belief in MLM with religious encouragement. You can really fuck people up doing that. And you could say, oh, well, DC is just a heathen, you're lost, blah, blah, blah. Informed consent is meaningful, and using things and twisting things to get what you want from people is unethical, regardless of what your core values are.
My life, not just, health. It was my whole life. Yeah.
Yeah. So you started on this journey. I mean, when you first started, it was really a very personal journey. It wasn't like you were looking outward, which I think is important for everyone to realize, that weight loss and the physical part of this journey is very personal, and it can be very private. So I know when you started, you had other connections to this world. You had seen people lose weight, but you really reached out at the time, Josiah, like someone that you didn't even know. And I mean, I think that's why I'm always constantly motivated to continue to share, because I never know who's on the other side of one more post or one more video, or why should we go live again to talk about summertime tips, So I just want people to know that it wasn't like, Cindy, it wasn't until you began to have hope again and started having the results that you're like, oh, I want to share this with my friends. I want to share this with my people. And then what I find so fascinating about your journey is you didn't have a community there. You were logging on to the virtual community. You were plugging in that way, but maybe just take us back to like when you would sit at the coffee shop and you know, say, who wants to come join, when there was just like no one, and then you started getting kicked out of coffee shops because too many people would come.
Yeah, honestly, I was in my own mind, I was growing so much in not just my physical health, but my emotional health was improving. When I walked into this program, I was at a very low place, and I was ashamed of what was going on in my own life. And I didn't want to talk to the people in my own church or in my own community that I was aware for the program. And so I did reach out to a stranger, and I would jump on.
Just for y'all who are wanting Optavia content, I just updated the Optavia playlist. And there should be 23 videos in it now. We used to cover them a lot. Sometimes it's hard to cover health and wellness with an eating disorder. So, and sometimes I have the spoons for it. And I will, and it is from oldest to newest, so.
On these community calls, because that's another thing I love about Optavia is that they weekly you can get into this community and really learn and grow and just share and be a part of it all. And so I literally, honestly, if I'm being honest, I was like, I want that. I was watching on the calls, but then I was seeing, everybody in person and hugging necks and loving on each other and inspiring and high-fiving and, literally doing hikes together and just all these things. And I wanted that, but I had no clue. There was nothing like that here, and no one.
And I do organize my playlist from oldest to newest because I like watching the earliest stuff and then being able to go and just like binge it while I'm crafting, so I don't have to keep going, oh no, I gotta go keep going up. But that's how I organize them if it's confusing from other creators' lists. Yeah, and I think I try to say it. I'm really, I hope that I'm welcoming and that it feels safe for people of multiple faiths to be comfortable here. But I also kind of do a caveat of if you're an ethical Christian, and to see like a lot of y'all here in the chat who remember the humanity in others, and I don't know, I'm very grateful that like live chat, y'all are incredible. So
had those connections, and maybe it's because I'm in a small community in the South. I don't know, but one day I just said, you know what, if they can do this, I can do this. And so I literally just put myself out there on a Friday, said I'm going to meet at this place at this time for coffee on Monday. And if you need a place to belong, if you need to be seen, if you need somebody in your corner, then just come out and meet me.
Sorry, I'm scratching my forehead in irritation. It's somebody else's business. If you're going there with, and again, this is me saying this, like, I recruited people at coffee shops all the time. I had coffee, whatever. I tried to make it that we weren't there for super long. I tried to make sure that there were plenty of tables for other customers. I tried to not make to not be boisterous with how we spoke so that we wouldn't disrupt business from the coffee shop. But still, it's somebody else's business. The twistiness of this is that she probably genuinely was following the instructions from her upline, Tia, and genuinely wanted to offer something that she was also looking for, which was a group. She didn't need to do that through Optavia. Building those connections probably opened the door for her, this rep that's blurred out, to show them the Optavia opportunity, because when you're first getting to know someone, there's lots of openings for her to say, you know what, I'm so glad I could come out and meet everybody. I wouldn't have been able to do this a year before or a year and a half before because of feeling nervous about being outside and feeling alone and not really knowing how to move past it. And after I lost 47 pounds and being able to be a part of the beehive, I'm really excited that I'm here. I'm excited that I've gotten to meet y'all, and I'm really grateful that you came out. And then you don't do anything else. You just keep playing the long game. And someone's going to say, oh, you lost 47 pounds? How did you do that? And that's how the snowball happens. I mean, when you're... Oh, it's tough being lonely. It's tough being lonely and not know how to get out of being lonely. I say this because if I didn't have my parents or my siblings, who would give a shit about wanting to be friends with me? How would I learn how to be friends with other people? I watch so many YouTubes about how to converse better with people. It's still hard. It's a painful spot because MLMs preying on people who are lonely. It is a real desire of people, and it's not just if you're in the anti-MLM community saying, oh, we don't need to pay for community. Sometimes you're like, how would I ever be able to get around people if I wasn't paying for it? And I'm glad I'm out. It still is not easy to, like maintain friendships or reach out. Like it wasn't magically fixed. Even though I live chat, y'all are bae, even though I've met a lot of great people online. It's just, if you don't think that community is a big draw for people wanting to join MLM, I'd offer the idea for maybe you to mull over that. One, you don't have to understand that some people are desperate for a community, for you to respect that there's people out there, or to grow your compassion for people who are lonely or who aren't mobile because of chronic illness or mobility issues or whatever. There's lots of ways for MLMs to target people. Yeah, live chat's the best. For sure. Hi, Natasha. Yeah, at one point I was low-key afraid to browse the business or self-help section of a bookstore because I'd always get an MLM recruit attempt. I'm sorry.
And I remember showing up thinking, nobody's going to come. Why would they come to sit with me? I mean, like, I had all this doubt that a lot of people.
Why would they come? Why would they come to sit with me? Like, I guess what she's saying is, like, hitting a lot of things that I'm in therapy. I'm not using live chat as therapy. I'm just telling you from my experience what I struggle with, what I'm vulnerable to when I got recruited into MLM.
Will have when you're, I was just all in my head, and one by one, there's a little bell on the door there at the coffee shop, that little ding, a bell to let people know you've come in, and one by one that bell would ring, and they just started filing in, and just over week after week, there was just more and more people that just needed just somebody to speak some kind of hope into their life, or or cheer them on or encourage them or give them a word of encouragement. Like, we only have to be one action ahead of someone else that we can help them. And if we've experienced something, why are we going to hold it in and not share it with other people? And so that's what I've been doing these last 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, your consistency, I truly am grateful for, you know, because when you're out here pioneering, it can be hard. And I think the biggest thing I want to encourage the people on the other side of this is that they can do it. They can contend forward. They can fight forward. Or if they've fallen back, there's always like a seat at the table. You know, I've always said that, you know, when I do these beehive gatherings and stuff, I'm always like, if the hive suffers when you leave, but you always have a place back at the table, right? And
the hive suffers when you leave. Okay, hold on. Beehive gathering. Tia Wood. Become a hope dealer. Women's beehive gathering. June 3rd at the Hive, which I think is their fit club. It's $30 per person. Includes light lunch and powerful time of worship, commissioning, and deepening friendships. Registration gives you access to gather and lobby unless you're a Hive member. 3-hour events. Okay. Like, are we moving forward and backward, or are we sitting at a table? Like, I'm confused. Hold apart fallacy, part to whole fallacy. It's leave whenever you want to. Leave whenever you want to. Just like preserve and promote your emotional well-being. Don't stay somewhere longer than you want to. You don't have to eat things that you don't want to, meaning like that you are having sensory issues too. Like you don't have to force yourself and activate yourself doing things that you cannot do, or like you cannot stay somewhere. Yeah, Elizabeth's, that's a good way to. I've done one conference, but yeah, I'm open to it. I haven't been able to do a lot of conventions recently because some of the finances are tight. I mean, my finances are tight right now, but yeah, I'm totally interested in infiltrating some twisty stuff.
I know this is, this journey is not for the faint of heart, but I see you contending. I see you fighting for it. I see you continuing to make sweet, sweet honey. And so I don't know, just what is your vision?
This is so weird.
For this summer, maybe cast some encouragement, some vision for this summer, because we're not to grow weary in well-doing, but in due.
You're not doing well-doing. That's what Bible verse is that? Do not grow weary in doing good, well-doing, whatever. Galatians. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. She twists the hell. She and Doug and Kevin and Becca and all of them twist scripture all the time. You need to look at the contextually, when was the Bible verse written in? And the entire book plus the chapter that verse lives in. It's not about being in a multi-level marketing opportunity. The multi-level marketing opportunity of you staying and you being a rep is not what the good that Bible verse is talking about. It's not. It's not. That's not me being a hater. Context matters. Context and when something was written matters in like what the actual, what the verse says in the chapter and then like whatever. Things also get lost in translation. Not that I can read Hebrew, not that I can read Greek. I'm just saying like this is twisty. This is the stuff I'm talking about. And I know there's so many people in my chat who are ethical Christians who get ragey over this shit.
Season, we will reap a harvest. The harvest is plentiful. The workers are few. It's always harvest season in the kingdom of God.
This is a multi-level marketing opportunity call on Instagram talking about how this rep in the blurred out section, how long she's been in Optavia for, what it did for her, and then we're talking about the harvest. Okay, so you're doing Optavia to make money, but also the umbrella is you're trying to bring all of these people you recruit into Optavia to Christ, or what? The harvest is not a rep. Unless that's what they're doing. Doug and Tia went to this school, this religious school that has some of the same. If y'all know that TikTok cult, the TikTok dance cult, the 7M, that is the Seven Mountains or whatever is it's not like a theological like based belief, but it's this group of people who believe to put people in positions of influence who are Christian. Like, let me explain it better. 7M. Seven Mountains of Influence. It's a dominionist conservative Christian movement that seeks to influence 7 key areas of society: family, religion, education, media, arts and entertainment, business, and government. So, Doug and Tia, what is it called? They went to this, and one of y'all will know. I'll have to go ask somebody who does know. But Doug and Tia went to this college, this Christian like commissioning 2-year or however long it was, and that was the focus to go into all the world. And they ended up in multi-level marketing. So for sure. I think it's both. I think, yeah, they really enjoy the money that they've made off of the financial sacrifices of every single person in their downline. And it is wild that in this process of them contending, Doug and Tia contending, whatever that means, and making it seem like, oh yeah, we're bringing the word of God into all the world, but you forget the humanity in others by shaming the nurse that was taking care of your dad because of her weight? I'm sorry, what part in the Bible are we talking about here? I don't know how. I don't know. It's really confusing. Exactly, Nick.
Yes.
It's always harvest season. God wants us healthy. God wants us fit.
God wants us healthy. God wants us fit. Where in the Bible does it say that? I went through MLM companies searching for success, fulfillment, a place I belonged, and could only make something of myself, only to thankfully wake up and see the harm it brought to myself and others. I'm glad you woke up. If you don't mind, if you do mind, don't say it, but could you tell us one of the MLMs that you, or if the only MLM you're in, like which MLM you left? I might have missed a comment. I cannot with Tia. God wants us healthy. God wants us fit. I don't know if I can respond to that. I'm too emotional about it.
God wants us breaking through. And Cindy, I'm so grateful to warrior up and link arms with you and the light that you are, just helping come alongside people that have never even thought they could ever get healthy. I know many clients come.
I was in pharmacy. No, I mean, I've been in a few, and I took Medifast products for almost a year, so and if you've done Medifast, I don't think it was healthy. I don't think eating that few calories is healthy, especially not without the supervision of a doctor. I understand there are some instances under medical supervision, under a doctor, that you have to do some extreme things. Doing that, having coaches or having not registered dietitians, not anybody who should be offering this kind of advice, or those are the people giving the instruction to those, like doing the 5-in-1, it gets twisty really fast. So no shade if you've joined multiple. There's actually, if you go into freedom of mind, but there's in cults, if you escape a cult, you're more likely to join another cult within the first year of you leaving. Cult meaning high control group. Some people think cults are a certain thing, and they're not. A political cult or a religious cult, or a church that has high control characteristics. People who leave a high control group, it's very common for them to join another one within the first year. We have that information. I share that information with y'all so that you can say, oh, if I feel a pull, your brain likes to go to familiar things, and high control group, that feeling, your brain wants to go until it can set a new normal for you. Therapy is great.
Coming back on program and recommitting. And so that was I felt like we needed to go live tonight because we're end of May. Let's not let just summer go by. Let this be a revival summer in our health, in our spiritual.
A revival. Oh my God, I'm so mad.
Lives, in our families. And so,
hi, Melissa.
Yes, encourage them in their summer season.
Listen, if I've learned anything, it's when there's a time and the word relaxation, or the words.
Alexis, thank you for the gifted membership. The wake up was when they forced people to use their pandemic money on product. Oh, fuck that. A lot of the women were single moms and low income. I spoke out. My upline was angry at me for that. Yeah. I've run into an angry upline, that's for sure. I'm glad y'all have gotten out. If you've gotten out and if you're lurking and you're terrified to even like the video or leave a message because you're afraid that your upline's going to see, I was there. They're not going to be able to tell what you're watching on YouTube, so you can lurk in safety. I was confused about that when I first was dipping my toes into the anti-MLM content, and I quickly found out that was not safe to ask questions to my uplines when I was finding out things about Gary Young. It was not safe to share those with my upline and ask questions. Apparently, questions are dangerous.
Vacation come up. There's a lot of people out there that just throw it all caution into the wind. But I want to encourage you to keep the promises you made to yourself. I want you to remember that the world is worldly. The world does not care about you and your health. They don't care about your family, not like you do, not in the ways that you do. And so if you have these desires in your heart, if you are on a journey to really to level up in your family, to break those generational curses, to move.
You know what breaks generational curses? Therapy. You finding an ethical therapist, an ethical licensed clinician, potentially working with your medical doctor and a psychiatrist and a psychologist together if you need that, okay, this is too much. Well, TMI for now. TMI for this stream. God. Therapy is going to help you break generational curses. In my opinion.
Move forward in health, hope, in your faith, and all these things, then just remember, just set yourself up for a win on the front end. Like I had a friend message like out on one of these boards the other day, just a normal post, like, quick, I'm going to a ball game. What kind of healthy things can I eat there? I'm like, girlfriend, I don't want to break your heart, but I just
a hot dog. Whatever you want. Talk to your registered dietitian. If you have goals, fine. Your registered dietitian is going to be able to help you with those. Oh my God. They're so judgmental about food. I cannot.
need you to go ahead and pack your stuff up early because they're not thinking about your healthy body.
Yep.
They want to sell you candy, cookies, hot dogs. And so I was like, you have to just really prepare yourself for the win. Like, think of yourself and your family on the front end. When you go on vacations, I want
think of your brain and your physical well-being. Think of your mental health. You need carbs. Your brain runs on glucose. There have also been, I think Sohi Fit either has her master's or her PhD in exercise science. She has prepped for a show, like a bodybuilding show. She prepped more on the traditional side for one, and then working with different people in the industry while she was still like doing her thesis for her PhD. She prepped for a show only focusing on macros, and she could get her macros from anywhere. And I'm not saying that fruits and vegetables and nuts and legumes and protein, like, I'm not saying that there's not a balance. I'm saying that talk to your registered dietitian, and people who shame the shit out of you for what you eat, like this, instead of maybe offering some kind of compassion to the conversation or even some expertise, because no expertise. Expertise in a high control group, expertise in being in a high control group. Yeah. Kai. Because I didn't think that she fit the qualifications for a public figure. And so that's why I blurred her. She is a person on Tia's team. Oh my God. Sorry, I know y'all can hear that. I'm trying to turn it off. I need to charge it.
you to have so much fun, but it doesn't have to revolve around sugary foods and carbs loaded foods. You can have fun, enjoy healthy foods, feel better because you're hydrating, you're eating good nutritious foods, and you're going to find tons and tons of.
How are you eating good nutritious foods on the 5-in-1 plan in Optavia? Those snack packs are 100 calories each. I ate them. And then you have a lean and green. Lean meat. So you're not using any oils. You want to be doing like fish. You want to be doing chicken and green. So you're having salad and vegetables. No fruits. But we're supposed to be listening to them about food advice? No thanks. I'll pass. You know what? When I was training full time, and what they told me And don't take this as advice. I'm trying to give you an example of something. When you're doing your training session and you're done, normally they'd have us do a protein shake. They would make us a custom one at the facility I was working at. And the registered dietitian there said, if you're in a position where you don't have access to a protein shake, eating something is going to be like, just eat something you can get a hold of within reason, like a Snickers bar or something that has the calories you need until you can get and eat something later. It's not, oh my God, I don't have anything I can quote unquote eat, so I'm not going to eat anything. And then, oh, by the way, my physical body and my mental health, we needed food, we didn't get it, and so we start this spiral. Talk to your registered dietitian. And that's obviously for in a training program, more on an elite side. A registered dietitian is going to be able to open up your perspective about food and not vilifying it and not saying this food's good and this food's bad.
Energy to do all the things. Whereas, some other people may just have to be sleeping in a lounge chair somewhere because they overdid it with some food. So,
oh yeah, and you're not allowed to sleep if you're tired. Thanks so much.
It's really just about thinking about what you really want most. We want to have a great summer, but we need to be really just thinking about how we want to be.
I'm sorry. Think about this for a second, and I'm going to tell you my experience, and then I'm going to ask a question about what we just heard about someone falling asleep on a lawn chair. When I was going to my inpatient 5 days a week, 4 days a week for inpatient, and then I was going 5 days a week for partial hospitalization. And that was after I got out of the psychiatric facility where I was in there full time for 20 plus days, whatever. I would be in therapy for the inpatient at first was 3 hours. Fine. I was driving myself when I got done with therapy because we were essentially like nonstop for 3 hours doing a lot of mental work and stuff like that. My brain was like, we need a nap right now. And which was kind of dangerous because I was driving, but that's why my parents started having to take me. But my therapist was saying, your brain is trying to, you put a lot of mental load on your brain doing all this therapy stuff, and it's not unreasonable that your brain's trying to regulate and also process, and you've used up a lot of energy doing all this stuff, even though it wasn't physical, like strenuous energy. You're tired. Your brain is tired. And if you also are hungry, like after therapy, or if you're hungry after doing a lot of mental stuff, even at the office, and you're like, oh my God, I'm so hungry. I didn't do anything today. You did. You used your brain all day long. Talk to your registered dietitian. So, here's my question. If you're at a family event that's incredibly mentally stressful, and you're having interactions with people that you either don't get along with or the interaction always goes to hell, so it's stress, and then you're able to eat something at this family gathering, and then your brain's like, okay, we need to chill. We're going to regulate ourselves however we can. We're going to go to sleep. Is that possible? I'll have to ask a registered dietitian. They shade the shit out of people, and I hate that. Food is such a complex thing. It has your mental health and like what you believe about food is so like deeply ingrained. It's not just, yes, sometimes genetics and socioeconomic, and like it has so many factors for it. It's not just, you know what, you've got no self-control. That's it. No. Oh, okay. Thanks, Tia. Thanks, Doug. Good talk. 20 months. Yay! Of course, we need a happy moment. Oh.
Well, we're moving on up to the side, to a deluxe apartment in the sky.
Thank you so much for being here for 20 months. I'm very grateful to the members. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you for the likes. We're at 47 right now, and we only have a few minutes left of the video, so yay.
The world and not how the world is in us. I mean, so, and I'm sure you can add to that. You've got years experience on helping people understand, these kinds of things.
We're in this world, but not of this world. I mean, we can boldly say that just as women of faith and have really found our relationship in Jesus. And that is our first and foremost as women of God. But this temple, God, this is where the Holy Spirit is residing in our life.
The Holy Spirit reside. Oh. Let me ask you a question. And I'm gonna be such a jerk about this. Was the Holy Spirit taking like a 15-minute break when Doug Wood took a picture of the nurse who was helping his dad when Doug took his dad to the doctor's office and took a picture of her without her consent, posted it on his Facebook page, and then shaded the shit out of her because of her body size? What part of that has any characteristics of the Holy Spirit? Oh, conviction or whatever. No, you're being a judgmental asshole. Where's the compassion? Where's the humanity? Where is anything that you read about in like the New Testament about anything that fits into the category of like what you're doing, shading the shit out of people for how they look? Oh. Sorry. It was a long story. I started as a gifted membership and then subbed, and then DC deleted that tier, so subbed again and started the count again. I should be closer to the golden acorn. I'm, technical difficulties. I'm glad you're here. Also, I love your cat.
And I can tell you is worth the contending, is worth the fighting, is worth saying no to the hot dog and like even last night, the popcorn at the movies. It's like, no, I know what that popcorn tastes like. I've had that popcorn. Even last month I had that popcorn. But in this season, because of the goals I have for myself and how I want to show up, that popcorn at the movie last night, I went and watched that The Last Rodeo. Oh my goodness. Amazing. Go watch this.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, so Angel Studios just produced it. Amazing. Go watch the movie. But I was okay. I can have popcorn again, but in this season, popcorn is not on Tia's meal plan.
Right.
So are you...
Let me ask you a question. Any registered dietitians, certified nutritionists, whatever. Let's say that you're more aware maybe of, I don't get hunger cues, but I like to eat things. It's a long story. Let's say I want to eat a Oreo cookie, whatever. And if I have access to, for me personally, I know sometimes just being close to things, that's not a good solution. Me saying, okay, normally I have an Oreo cookie maybe like 3 times a week or 2 times a week. And then I'm saying to myself now, because of Tia, hey, no Oreo cookies. And so then I'm like, well, I didn't crave Oreo cookies all the time. I just had a couple a week. And now everything else is off limits because there's good food and bad food, which that's not the best perspective about food. And you can talk to registered dietitians. So, and I'm not saying that people can't have goals or do certain things. Talk to your registered dietitian. Talk to your certified personal trainer. Talk to both of those people at the same time. Kat Benson, both. Kat Benson's a registered dietitian, and she's a certified personal trainer. That's why I think the macro conversation is more interesting because, hey, if I want to work something in, not for me, I don't do macros. For my mental health, I don't do it. But just kind of like, maybe you can't compare these things. Emotions are neutral. And maybe we put alcohol outside of the neutral part, but food is neutral. And it can become more destructive when you start putting it into the evil and good category, the good and the bad category, whatever. Talk to your registered dietitian.
To say no so you can say yes. You know why I said no last night? Because I want to wake up today and I want to be. I had a workout at 5:45 this morning.
What do you need for that workout? Do you need calories? Do you need protein? Do you need carbohydrates? Do you need fat? Do you need to be hydrated? Do you need to have good sleep? Do you need to be, manage your stress? Your body. Food is good for your physical and emotional well-being. I will keep saying that.
I had, my son to stay after. I had my, I have a life that I'm doing and I need the energy. And so my encouragement is, what are you willing to say no to in this season so you can say yes? What are you willing?
How are we preserving and promoting our emotional and physical well-being? And is removing whole categories of food, is that going to preserve and promote my emotional and physical well-being? If it's not, and I'm having that personal conversation with my registered dietitian, live under the umbrella of more sound, I say my, whatever they're called, my little statements that help me remember who I am when I'm stressed out. I'm itching my face in irritation right now. She's saying we're going to say no right now so we can say yes to it later. I understand, I'm working myself out of debt, okay? I'm trying, not very well, but I shared with members, some big wins with paying off some stuff. Yes, I understand budgeting overall. Budgeting, healthy. Living within your means, if you can, healthy. There's a lot of people don't even have, because of how much they get paid, or that there's how expensive everything else is. They're going into debt not because of stuff they're doing. It's because the economy is fucked for them. It's really messed up for a lot of people. I understand it in part, but with food, she shouldn't be giving advice at all.
To say no to on this holiday, this vacation that you have coming up, so you can say yes to playing volleyball. Or
she's talking about being back on plan, and moving foods, removing whole groups of foods out because you're trying to lean down or whatever.
Or pickleball, or you're not going to feel like playing pickleball if you just chowed down nachos. You know what
I hate to say, are you fucked? Because I'm not allowed to say that. You have lost the plot. You've lost the plot. Fats, protein, vegetables, carbohydrates. Vegetables are carbohydrates. Oh, you can't have nachos. Food is neutral. And if we're looking at what your body needs, why are all of a sudden we're putting nachos off the table? What is bad about nachos? I don't understand. You can still feel like exercising or being able to do the things that you're doing in your life. I'm working on being able to stand, or that's what I've been working on for the past 9 months, and I'm about to have surgery again. And I'm scared about trying to make progress again. People have different goals, but you maybe should have more of a educational background, some certifications, maybe some registrations if you're going to give food advice, which you are the worst person to be giving food advice. I'm what society calls a big woman. One cousin in particular is always telling me how to lose weight, what to not eat, how to do squats. When you wake up, just do 60 squats before you leave the room. I'm sorry, Izzy. Oh, I forgot. So I was like, nachos bad because Optavia says so. I forgot. That makes so much sense. Oh, and if you eat the nachos, the MLM doesn't make money. See, I didn't understand. Y'all get it. Shadow, hero, how are you? Nachos bad because Optavia says so. That clarifies so much. When I don't understand, my dad used to say that too, because we would say something, and he said like about movies and everything, because the plot wouldn't make sense or the conversation would make sense or whatever, and my dad would say it's like that because that's what they wrote in the script, or it was. I'll have to ask him what he exactly says, but it's similar to that. Well, it is because the writer says it was. It is because Optavia says it was. Oh God. Top chat got Kai.
I mean, I'm not saying the nachos don't, you know what the nachos taste like. And so this is like you taking your power back and you owning that you are the greatest asset here on the earth. The world needs you to step up. Your husband, your children, and your future self is depending upon you. And so he and I don't just talk here saying that we have it all figured out. We still have our slip-ups. We still have our days, but we are.
You're maybe you're registered. Talk to a registered dietitian. Talk to a certified personal trainer. You're not going to have, I think, in my experience when I worked with good ones, when they're putting something as a slip up is not going to be. That's not going to be in the category. It's just, it is what it is. Could you get it in or could you not? Were you able to eat? How are you answering the questions of this whole range of like health, whatever it's called? Your stress, your hydration, your food, your sleep, your stress management, your movement, if you can move at all. How's your blood work? And I don't remember the other one. So you're listening to them, and they're not asking any of the other questions. They're just saying, oh, this other point that's not really on the range of health, or maybe it is. We only care about what someone looks like physically, that apparently Doug and Tia are the arbiters of health via thinness. They're not asking stress management, hydration. Are you taking your prescription medication? How is your stress management in the context of you working on mobility again, or you working on, movement? Live chat's the best. Yeah, it's multifaceted and really good registered dietitians. Kat's one of them. She's gonna ask you a bunch of those questions, and a lot of those points are interconnected. Like, hey, you didn't feel so well this day. How was your sleep? Oh, your sleep was rough. How's your stress management? Oh, let's go back. So you look at health with a bigger mindset. There's a lot of weight, and that comes off because you start to say, oh, for me, not to get too much to TMI, when you do surgery, sometimes you have to not take some of the prescription medication because it interacts with the anesthesia, and you have to stop taking it a week out. A few of the medicines that I cannot take are ones that I do for my pain management. And as my body, it started hurting more and more and more and more, which impacted my mental health more and more, which impacted my stress. And I've had several days this week I haven't slept at all. I've stayed up all night long. And so you can go back and say, this is temporary, and this point I could recognize because I'm asking all these questions. And while it is still discouraging and it's still sad, I can still remind myself, I can use my DBT skills and critically say, I see the domino impact. I knew that was going to happen, and I'm not going to make permanent decisions for temporary situations because I had to do this because I'm getting surgery. But it was a lot of those different things regarding health.
Are going to be contending right alongside you. So I want you to know my friend, because she's an amazing coach. She's an amazing friend. She's a queen bee. And just I want people to know they don't have to do it alone, that there's so much hope. And so what are your parting words or encouragement as we say, until next time? Maybe we will have a summer series together this summer.
I just want to encourage you, like I said earlier, just figure out what it is that you really want most. Because in this, regret, it's a terrible thing. And I know we're our own worst enemy, but still, when you have goals, when you have dreams, when you have that 5-year plan, that 2-year plan, that 1-year plan, I just want you to think about what you want most and what kind of future you want, what kind of people you want in your corner, what kind of people you're surrounding yourself with, what rooms are you showing up in. Just think about what you want most. And like Tia said, I'm not perfect. We all make choices, but we don't keep.
Why does it matter what kind of people you're hanging around with? Let's say you have boundaries. And you say, these are my internal boundaries, these are my external boundaries. I can keep them to myself, and if someone crosses them, or if they start to cross them, I can communicate and use my words, and if those continue to be broken, my boundaries are, this is what I'm going to do if my boundary gets crossed. Why does it then say, oh, well, that's a bad person, that's a bad person, that's a bad person, I don't want to hang out with any of them? Why are you deciding they're bad people? This whole idea, I understand there's some meaning to the idea that, let's say you are trying to, grow your company, and being around other people who've grown companies, that you can ask them questions about growing a company, that can be helpful. But for Ray Higdon, or for Tia Wood, or for Doug Wood, or for Eric Worre, or for all of these MLM guru people to say, you know what? You're basically moving backwards in life if you're not hanging out with people who, are A, B, C, D. Well, you know what? For me, hey, I really enjoy spending time with my sister. She's really creative. We work well together. She is very calming. Our personalities, like, we fought growing up, but we're interested in the same things. We have different goals in life, but like, decent human being, trying to be a decent human being. And also, I respect her boundaries. She respects my boundaries. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand. Yeah, Heather, I think they also forgot that part. I thought the Bible said, judge not lest ye be judged. Yes. Let me see what Bible verse it is, since Matthew. It's from the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew 7:1-3. Judge not lest ye be judged. Matthew's in the New Testament. And the qualities of a true disciple. And they're talking about being true disciples. And here we are in hypocrisy.
Keep making the choices. Like Tia says, I know what the popcorn tasted like last month. It doesn't mean I have to taste it this month, right? So just.
Or you can just have some popcorn if you want some popcorn. What?
Go out there, just be your best self, encourage other people, do what you have to do to take your family to the next level, to take, the grandkids. It's not too late. It's never too late to be your best self, to thrive, to be.
I like parts of what she's saying. Hey, okay, wow, I'm feeling like I'm crushed, like I'm not ever going to be able to whatever. What's my goal? All right, I'd love to be able to stand for 10 minutes with my walker. Okay, that may have just been my final goal. Maybe I wouldn't have been able to move past that. I got to do that when I was increasing my mobility. Hey, in a perfect world, I would love to have less pain flares. Okay, my mobility specialist knows that, so when we're able to do our movement the next day, hey, did you have a pain flare? Yes. Okay, we're going to go back and adjust this for next time. It's like a back and forth. Same thing with the stress and the sleep and the hydration and all this other stuff. I remember when my mom was pushing popcorn with olive oil as a healthy snack. Societal context matters so much. Back home, there's so much judgment when it comes to looks. My mom being one of the biggest judges, but here in Ireland, people just don't comment on looks. I love that.
Be better. It's not too late. And your family is watching, your friends are watching. You can be that example. You can make that.
You don't have to live a life to be an example to other people. You can say, I'm going to work on advocating for myself. I'm going to work on, for me, obviously, maybe I'm in a different place than everybody else on the planet. Trigger warning, suicidal ideation. That is what I went into the psychiatric facility for. And I was in IOP and I was in PHP. And you come to the place, and I'm still struggling with it, but you come to the place when you say, at this point in my life, do I want to live? And are there things in my life that are impacting my ability to pursue doing what I need to live and making adjustments and removing things? That's all I can do right now. That's all I can do right now. Everybody's in their different place, but figuring out like what you want is and what is good for you, because you're the best advocate for yourself. It's way different than what these people are saying. It's like, God, eat some popcorn in honor of Tia Wood.
Room for people. You can just really live a good, healthy life.
Oh my God.
Okay. And and have the promises that God has given us. So that's what I just want to encourage you to go out and.
You're going to live good and healthy life, so then there's more of a chance that you're going to receive God's promises. What?
Yes. Really take care of yourself this summer. Don't let it be the time that you're laying on the couch and just kicking back and saying, I'm finally have a break. Beautiful friends, your kids are going to be wanting snacks on the table. So just have those things ready. Like have the fresh fruits and the vegetables already.
Well, I'm glad she believes in eating fruit, because Doug and Tia don't believe in eating fruit when you're doing the 5-in-1, the hardcore of the one.
In your fridge, already on the counter. If you like to snack during the summer, you can have a few little things. Don't keep a large mess in your kitchen, because you'll eat it all. Because I know, because I would.
Are you hungry? I know sometimes it's not. I know sometimes it is not. I know sometimes, like in my case, category eating disorder. And also, I was hungry because I wouldn't eat and then I would binge. And that stemmed from one of the things was my coach would not let me eat. Talk to a registered dietitian, talk to a psychiatrist, talk to a psychologist, talk to someone who has experience with eating disorders. Spend the money if you can, at least with 1 or 2 calls with someone, and save the money that you would say, well, Optavia is going to be the answer. It's literally not going to be the answer. It's not.
And so just be ready on the front end. Just think it out first. Know what you want.
That's right. And don't do it alone.
Yes.
We don't do it alone. We lean into each other. We have an amazing community. If you want to get plugged in to our weekly calls, get connected to Cindy or I, we would love to get you in a structured program to help you win.
Yes.
Make sure you're not doing this on your own, because you're not meant to do life alone. We're meant to do it together, and we're meant to do it in the hive. So come back in, plug in, and have an amazing night. Have an amazing summer, and have a plan. If you have a plan, don't just wish, don't just hope that it's going to work out. Make a plan and let's execute on it. And thanks for staying up late on the East Coast to have this a special time together.
My pleasure, Tia.
And welcome to Instagram Live.
I know. All right.
Here
I can
we go.
do it now.
Here's to many more. High five.
Oh my God. We need Dora. Honestly, like, Dora's coming in hot. I have no idea what is going on with my camera, but I'll fix it later. It doesn't matter. Yay, we made it. Rip. We survived. Barely. We barely escaped with our lives. Thank y'all for joining. It was a heavier stream. There's some lighter streams coming up. Monat's coming up. I mean, videos. Monat's coming up. Well, Firmaglow's coming up. Here. Let me look at these. These are the videos coming up. Tony Zalecki, Tyler DeBerry, Michelle Barnes, Firmaglow, Kayla Moat, Sarah Lininger, Bailey, Faith Drew. So some kind of, Make Wellness, Nueva, Monat, kind of lighthearted. So I hope y'all hydrate. Don't forget to take your meds if you taking prescription medication. And don't forget to eat. It's good for your mental and physical well-being. Please don't join an MLM, and please stay away from Optavia and stay away from Doug and Tia's group. It is twisty. Firmablow. Yes. Yeah. Yep. They have products now. So I appreciate y'all staying here, watching till the end. Thank you for licking the stream. And replay crew, I'll see you in the comments. Started and end at the top of the leaderboard. Mila, let's go. All right, guys. Have a good night.